Because my notes are done.
Let's talk about like the state of art.
Okay.
We didn't talk about that. Like it's enough about me. Now we gotta talk more things other than me, because like the state of art, it's getting scary.
Never mind, guys. I lied. Apparently, this isn't the end of the podcast.
It's not the end.
All right.
Yeah. First of all, you need to get. Oh no, you already got records. I was gonna say you need. I don't know. It need a record on it. Can you spin a record while we talk? Yeah, we got to spin Kanye while we speaking.
Okay.
But like keep it low, cause you know it's not. I might start rapping to it. I've been learning Kanye, bro.
For real?
I'm in my Kanye bag.
What's your favorite Kanye album?
The Heartless. What's that one on?
Oh, 808s and Heartbreaks.
No, but I like his first one though, College Dropout.
Oh, College Dropout.
But all his stuff, he like, man, he be talking some real stuff. That's another thing. I want art to stop being about girls and like loving and like.
But don't you make girl records?
I do, but that's the thing about this album. It has girl records on it, but in the end, it's going to resolve to what the answer is.
I'm gonna have to cut this thing into a part 1 and part 2, Abdullah. I hope you
okay.
It's fine though.
All right.
This is gonna be the part 2.
Is that the play? You gotta play Heartless.
Can I play the album? Just the whole album?
But then you gotta flip it. Yeah, that's
not for Heartless.
Oh, it's on only one side?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hope this is the right one.
Just be so hard this.
All right, but go ahead. State of art right now. You don't like girl records. Why don't you like girl records?
I like them, but I just think they need to be about more. It's getting cliche.
Just girls. Like what do you mean? Explain. Elaborate.
Like when you think about it, we might write a song about love, and it's too literal. They talking about how they fucked a girl, and then the girl's talking about lick my butt and stuff. Like it's just like, why?
You don't like Sexy Red?
I'm sorry. She's a beautiful woman, but I'm not a fan of her music. That's no shade. Like I said, it's just not for me. It's her music, her sound. But yeah, what else? I don't know. You're supposed to be the interview. You gotta ask questions.
Bro, my notes are you the one that told me to keep
improvise.
You the one that told me to keep going.
Oprah asked all the things on her notes. She asked way more stuff than that's in her notes.
I got off my notes. Everything I wanted to talk about, we discussed.
Man, well, what do you think about the state of art? I'm about to be the interviewer. Shit.
I think that the state of art is in this. I call it the sunken place. Like it's in this. If you didn't watch Get Out, the sunken place is like this. Negro.
Oh wait, is that Heartless?
No.
Oh no, it's not Heartless yet. When it gets started, you gotta turn it up. That's like they gotta be like a break. Bro, he's so hard.
I'm not taking a talking break so you can listen to Heartless.
Bro, you gotta promote. I told you he's my favorite. You gotta promote him.
Why do I have to promote? Kanye isn't paying for anything on this podcast.
So.
But Kanye doesn't. He's lucky that we're playing his music.
Do you like Kanye?
I love Kanye.
Well, then play his music.
That does not mean anything.
Yes, it does.
That doesn't.
Okay.
Us as consumers have to break up the love for the artist and the business that I love Kanye. Right. However, Kanye isn't paying for nothing this podcast has going on. Sure. Everything this podcast has going on is coming from my pockets. You could be
playing that and he could be like, man, I really like what them brothers talk about. Then what if he donated? But you'll never know. Because you did turn Kanye. Well, it's not Heartless yet.
Well, they hear it.
They can?
Yeah, I can hear it in my headphones.
Well, I don't hear. Oh, it's because it's okay.
Yeah, they can hear it in my headphones. So, and you can hear it out here.
But, okay. All right.
So that's good enough.
All right, where was he at?
Anyway, yeah, I think the state of art is in the sunken place. If you never watched Get Out, the sunken place is kind of like this place that Daniel Kaluuya was in, where he couldn't get out, he couldn't move, he couldn't do anything. And I feel like a lot of artists are there because the creativity in art is missing. So a lot of artists are just stuck and they don't know what to do until somebody tells them to move this way, move that way. It's like somebody with this big ass cup and they're just doing this instead of us being the ones that's there just looking and like, oh snap, what you about to do? And there's like back in the day when there was like a Pharrell, there was a Timbaland, there was Kanye, there was Just Blaze, there were all these different amazing producers that was giving thiving these amazing
even before that Babyface,
come on.
It goes on and on.
And that was giving like different amazing music to artists that was kind of like it was different and amazing. Like each everybody had a different sound. So and nothing sounded the same.
It was different, but yet you still knew it was them.
Exactly. It was like signature sounds. Like Pharrell has that four beat, that dun 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 before it gets into beat. Kanye has that famous soul sample. Timbaland and his drums are fucking insane. But now it's kind of like everybody has that same 808. Everybody has that same drum clap pattern.
Yeah.
The cadences.
Jersey thing. Everybody.
The same. Yeah, the Jersey hip music. How do you feel about the Jersey hip
I do not
epidemic?
Like it. I don't like it.
Why not?
Like,
but you made trash.
Trash was in Jersey. Was it Jersey?
No, not necessarily.
Exactly.
Not in that sense.
It really wasn't.
You could just do hips to it.
Even
it was just something you could do hips
to. If it was, it wasn't intentional.
Yeah.
I feel like Jersey's becoming a thing that people are making it because it's a trend and not because they like it. They're making it because it's like people are listening to it and it's like, oh, this people like, so I'm gonna make it. But then again, you got to stop making music for what you think people are gonna like. And you just gotta make music. That's the disconnect. Like you just said it, the creativity. The disconnect is people's I feel like we've losing our purpose of why we're making the music. The why is important. And a lot of people's why is, I don't think it's good.
Well, I know I have a feeling about a lot of people's whys. Like, money is a big why. Why am I making music? Well, I'm trying to get out the hood. My mom needs this. My dad needs that.
That's true, but like for me, like I'm making music and I'm working at the Cheesecake Factory right now.
Yeah, but that's because you love making music though.
Again, I don't got the money, and even you have to have the mindset of, if you never made $1 on it, would you still release it? Is it good enough to you that you will release it? And that's what I always ask myself. Like when I'm doing music, it can't be like, okay, I want this money, I want to get rich. Of course I want that stuff, but that can't be your sole purpose of doing it. It has to be like you do it for the reason that, my reason is I just want people to feel. And if money comes along with it, then that's a blessing. That's how I always viewed it. That's how I always view it in my mind. But now, capitalism, it's like you said, it's a capitalistic thing. And music also influences a generation. And
that's true.
And you can see that. Like I know people say they blame like singers for like all the gang violence and stuff, like gangster music.
I made a video about that.
Yeah, which is like, at the end of the day, you're their parent. You need to be responsible for what they're listening to. But then, like us as artists, we do still have a responsibility. I feel like
I said this on the podcast. It's kind of weird because people say things about like having a responsibility, but I feel like they only say that black people have a responsibility when it comes to black artists and black art.
Well, you know why? Because who are we talking about? What generation are we talking about that's doing the gangbanging and stuff?
However, I think it's more of circumstances of community. Like, all right, so I'm big into this, right? I love Chief Keef. Actually, I'm going to say what I said on the podcast. I love Kodak Black No Flocking. You know I love Kodak Black No Flocking.
Yes, I know.
That
I know.
comes on at the function, I'm going crazy.
And you act like a nigga, but you're not I get it.
But my point exactly, I'm not a nigga. I mean, skin color, but I don't act like a nigga. However, that's why I feel like, one, it's your environment, and two, it's what's already in you. Like, it's already in you to do those things. It's in you to gangbang. Like, that's something that you have to break out of you. That's something that's already there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I can't fully, and again, like, I will, as long as I live, I will always be on the side of the artists and the art, because without them, we would be bored. Or without us, let me say, we would be bored as fuck. Yeah. Like, it's like, we will be bored. So I can't, actually, let me turn this up a little bit. So I can't sit up here and act like, and also I can't sit up here and act like I'm holier than thou as an artist, because I know when I get to a point of people really listening, people really paying attention to what I'm saying, and also, oddly enough, I'm kind of at that point because my neighbors in college be listening to my podcast, and they was like, "Oh yeah, we was listening to what you were saying." Da, 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 da. And this girl I was talking to, she was like, "Oh yeah, I listened to your podcast, and you were saying this, that, and the third." So I kind of get the sense of like, "Oh yeah, artists have this responsibility," but at the same time, if you're too worried about being responsibility where you cover your truth up, I don't want to be responsible. I want to be a truth teller because my truth can help somebody else.
But then here's the issue that I have. Like you said, be a truth teller. A lot of these artists that are making this music, that's not who they are.
Damn, I should have stopped this and started another one. Damn it.
A lot of artists that are making this music that are presenting this image of like the thug life and stuff, they're from suburban neighborhoods.
That's true.
They're from PG County, living in Bowie, Maryland, gangbanging, acting like they in the hood, when their parents were the ones that grew up in the hood, and they got out of that and put them in this nice $1 million house, and
That's
they
true.
acting like it. So like that's my issue. Like you said, living your truth, and that should be the case. If your truth is being in the gangs, okay, that's your truth. But even in those people, you see like people that actually did the life, Tupac and even Kanye, they actually speak about the truth of the matter. Versus these artists that are talking about it, they haven't really lived that life, and they're presenting this false image. So that's what I mean, presenting false images that to a consumer, it's influencing them because they think it's the truth, and that's because of how media pushes it. And like I said, higher ups and how what they decide they want to push out to the world.
Do you also think that Alright, so do you think that artists previously, like the Kanye's and like the Tupacs, right? Well, Tupac's dead, so let me use a different example. Like somebody, somebody's that's still alive, though. Like a eat.
He's dead too.
Just stop.
That's a whole nother issue in itself.
That is a whole nother issue.
All these rappers keep ending up dead.
That is a whole nother issue. Why do these rappers keep ending up dead? But hold on, to finish this point, like a rapper like E40, right? Or like a rapper's like Too Short. I'm just going to debate for whatever reason. Do you think that their music being so popular, or even like a Cash Money, like a Lil Wayne, like something like from the 99s or the 2000s?
Didn't he grow up in the suburbs?
I don't know. I know he was signed to Birdman when he was like 12. Yeah. So
I love Lil Wayne though.
Yeah.
I love Lil Wayne.
So I have a hot take about Lil Wayne.
What? Oh, we got finished. The first thing.
But yeah, so do you think that those artists and the popularity of them kind of showcased showcasing that side of their life? Do you think that artists now, like I don't want to name any names, but do you think like artists now in this sense and on their platforms are kind of like, oh well, if Wayne did it, I can do it, or if Pac did it, I can do it, or if such and such did it, I can do it?
Yeah, but that's the issue. You shouldn't be doing it because they did it. It should
Here you go. Here's your song.
Okay. All right, yeah. What was I about to say? I just forgot. See,
you can't do it because they did it.
Yeah, you can't do it because they did it. I feel like it has to be a thing. Like you could look up the artist, but Whitney Houston. That's when you get a Whitney Houston record. She said famously, "Look up to them, but don't be that. Learn the greats, but then incorporate it into your own." Like she studied Barbra Streisand, her own mother, Cissy Houston, Aretha Franklin, but then she took that and she didn't become that. She incorporated into her own, and when you listen to her, it's like, oh my goodness. But that's influence from that generation. I feel like nowadays artists are trying to be like the past artists. It's not like they're not trying to be themselves.
But also, that's where creativity goes back into it too. A lot of people just aren't creative. Like a lot of
they don't need to be doing music.
But that's the thing, though. That's the part that is missing. That because everybody talks about talent. Oh, you can rap. Oh, you can sing. Yeah, you can. But nigga, are you creative? Can you hear something and be like, oh, hold on, I like that. Why do I like it? Oh, I like it because this. Oh, so how can I take this and make it my own? That's creativity. A lot of people aren't born creative, and that's okay. Nigga, if you ain't creative, work at McDonald's.
Right. Like,
And
I'm not sure. That's okay.
that's okay. You're making money. I can't deny nobody that's making money. Shit, I'm broke right now.
Literally.
Like, if you're making money, you out here making money. Don't get it. Like, I was thinking about this in the shower today. It's funny. People that be like, oh, I just want a good paying government job. That's it. That's cool.
Good for you.
Good for you.
That's not what I want from me.
Just stay out of creative business.
Literally.
Cause you're not. Cause it gets to the point where where we are now in like music, just art in general, where nobody's adding anything of value, and everybody's just like, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this. Nigga, fuck you mean you gonna try?
Another thing is people keep making it. A lot of people that are making it, it's a hobby to them.
Yeah,
it's a hobby. They don't love it.
They don't take it serious.
They don't love it, and that's when you see people killing themselves and stuff.
Yeah.
When they're in something that's false, and then when you really sit down and look at yourself, it's like I don't really like this, and that can consume you.
Yeah. Do you think so? Back to you. How do you not dive into that mental state of like, or better question, how do you keep the love for it when you don't see the results? How do you keep the love for the art when you don't see the results?
Like I said, it starts with the intention. The intention of why you're putting it out. I don't put music out to like get anything back. It's more of a giving. I put it out to give. So like even if nobody hears it, that was my intention. Wasn't for them, like everybody to hear it. It was just to give and give it out. That's how I tell myself in my mind, because my streams aren't like that. Of course, I want to get to that place where they are, but I'm not going to sacrifice my moral compass and hop on a trend or anything to do that. Right. It's more of a. I would say I aspire to inspire and create. So I want to inspire you, but if you don't hear it, that's it wasn't meant to inspire you. But as long as one person hears it and they felt something, that's all that matters. Like right now, I could have one stream, but that one stream is like, damn, someone heard this.
Because it's more than zero.
Yeah, it gives me more drive.
Tight. I think that's something I have to get better at. That's something that I've been working on.
I thought you said you have to flip the record.
I was talking about for Heartless. For that one particular song, I didn't have to flip the record. I could just put it on.
Oh. I thought you were saying like all the songs on the album was on one side.
No, dude, what album, what record?
I thought you had some kind of special record. I was wondering why the CD looked the same. I'm like, if it's all on one side, the CD should be a little bigger.
Nah, this is a special record though. This is actually, so fun fact, shout out to my mom. This is the special deluxe, well not the deluxe, but the special edition of 808s or Heartbreaks. It comes with the CD and it comes with the poster. So shout out to Mom Dukes for not letting me have it, but like shout out to her for letting me take it and not saying anything about it. Yeah. But yeah, what was we saying? I forgot. See, this is why we should have just ended this.
Well, I have more to talk about.
Okay, go ahead.
The sales and the other thing about music.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Nobody's making money.
Streams, yeah.
The streams, like when you think about it.
But nobody's making money from anything.
Guess how much you get from 1 million streams?
How much you get?
$3,000.
That's wow.
That is shit. And then if you're signed to a label, like 80% of that goes to the label. I'm not good at math, but that brings you down to less money. And then when you get down to that less money, then you got to give 30% to your manager, and not 30% of that less money, but 30% of that 3,000. Yeah. So then what do you got? And then other people don't understand. They give you an advance. Once you got that advance, then it's like, oh my God, you got this money. People dumb as shit go spend on cars and shit. But then as soon as your record releases, they taking all that money back, because it costs money to record in the studio. Yeah. It costs money to do all this stuff. That's why I think we're actually entering a new dawn. I actually don't think record labels are going to be around in 10 years.
I don't either.
And if they are, they're not going to hold as much power.
I don't think any type of label will be around in the next.
Yeah, but you know why? I think because we're entering the information age.
Oh, I call it the DIY.
DIY, what's that mean?
To do it yourself.
That too, but you know why? Because the information is there. Yeah. And because we're in the information age, not just the information's there, but we're starting to get information on how all these businesses actually work and what they're doing behind the scenes. That used to be once upon a time secrets. And because all that information is going public with everything, it's giving us as people, not just artists, the ability to do anything we want to do at the same level because the information's there.
Yeah.
It's just whether or not you want to take that knowledge and do something with it.
And also because we have like the technology now, we have phones and all that things. We can literally do everything.
Yeah.
Right then and there. That's why I'm a big believer in, like, if you believe in art or something, the quality of it when you first do it might not be the best. That's okay. That's fine. But once you get to a certain level and people will be like, oh, nah, I see you working, da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the quality and, oh, it's not going to be the best. It's not going to look the best. It's not going to sound the best. Da, da, da. Don't worry about all that now because you'll never do it. It's never going to happen. Just do it, get into the habit of doing it, and then worry about all that other stuff later.
Literally, and for me, you know what I do? Like, when I'm making anything, I start with the big picture. Like, what is I actually do look at the end result. Like, what do I want this to be? And once you see that, then you just scale back. Because then if you have the reality that you want for the end result, then when you scale back, then you have a clear path on how to get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, another thing, what was I going to say?
But hold on, do you think that, another question, do you think that a lot of artists don't have a clear path of what they actually, or where they want to go and what they actually want to do?
They don't. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because for some,
I'm saying that's a bad thing. I would say that's a bad thing.
I mean, you can, but then it's like we all have different ways of. It's like there's not one way to success. That's how I like to say it. Like, they might go through a bunch of trial and error, but then you can ask yourself who gains more along the way. If you if you have a clear path and you have the way to get there because you're going on that path, you know how to get there. Versus someone that doesn't have a clear path and they're winging it. They try this out and that messes up. And they try this out and that messes up. Who really gained more? Because now they know what not to do. And this person that has the clear path, they got there, but they never had the trial and error.
But I don't mean trial and error. I mean, if you don't, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, in that sense. Like, nobody has a clear plan. I don't care if your plan works or not. As long as you just have a plan. Yeah. And as long as you keep making plans.
Right, because the plan could not work and that could change the trajectory.
And or it could work. And it can change or it might not be plan number 1. It might be plan number 10,000. Yeah. But something's going to hit eventually. I'm talking about the people that just be like, man, fuck it. Like, whatever happened, happened. Whatever happened.
That's who I used to. I mean, that's what I used to do. That's literally how my senior project came.
But no, because there was still a plan.
True. Yeah, I still had an idea.
No, because it was like, all right, whatever happened. I have this idea of what I want to do. Cool. Whatever happens, happens. I'm gonna have a talk with these dudes. All right, cool.
Whatever. I see what you're saying.
That's still plan. Like, whatever happens.
There are people like that though that don't don't.
It's people that just go. That's why art is where it's just scary. People that go into things and being like, shit, I don't have no plan of how this is going to work, or how this is going. Like, I don't have no idea at all of what this is supposed to or going to be. But we're just going to, fuck it, we're just going to try something.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, that is scary.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. Cause I know sometimes with music, like, I might not have a clear path, but I go on with a idea, and then you build off that idea. But some people just go into it with nothing.
And also, that now makes, like, I know we say we shouldn't put artists at a pedestal or look at them as, like, superheroes and things like that. But it is a superhero-y aspect of artists in a sense of, like, kind of like the same thing with athletes in a sense of, I can't do what LeBron James does. I can't do that. I can't jump from the free throw line like Michael Jordan. I can't do that. So the fact that he can do that makes it like unreal, almost in a sense. Like Steph Curry making like, I think his record was like 14 or 15 threes or something like that. That's unreal. That's unreal. The fact that it gets to a point of art where it looks like, everybody can do that. That's where it was a point in time where, like, no, not everybody can do that. Not everybody can sing like Whitney. No, nobody can do that. Nobody can sing like Luther. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can make a hit like Michael Jackson. Nobody can do that. But now it's at a point where it's so accessible and people make it look so easy. Now everybody's mind is like, oh, I can do that. I just gotta do it long enough and I can do that. I just gotta do it long enough and I can do that. No, and I hate to burst your bubble. I hate to be the one to do that.
No, yeah, I feel that.
But you can't, because it's something that they have and you don't have. It's something that they got that you don't. You just have to find what you have. See, this is why I didn't want to go into this, because I'm going on a whole bunch of tangents.
That's okay. Isn't that what a podcast is for?
That's true.
Exactly.
All right. But yeah.
So what was the question?
I forgot. I don't know.
God damn
I told you I went on a tangent. I don't know. I don't have these things written down. I wasn't prepared for this. I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared for this part 2. But thank you though.
Well, when you think about it, what was I talking about? I was talking about the information age. Going more into depth with that, even if you don't have it, the information, not to get there, but like a blueprint of how to get there is there now.
Yeah.
That's what I see. Like, before Michael Jackson did as big as he did, there was no blueprint until he did it. Before him, like James Brown, that was considered the great.
That's true.
James Brown, Little Richard, all those people, that whole generation, Aretha Franklin, you look at them, it's like, wow. And then what happens? Because the information's there, then someone like Michael Jackson comes along, and he takes that, puts it into his own, because that's all this is. You know, Michael Jackson was known for all those dance moves he did. He didn't create them. But you know what he did? They say he would like have a rehearsal, and he would invite a bunch of dancers, and they're just dancing, and he would just watch them. And then what he would do is he would take one move from each one of them that they did that he liked, and then he made it his own. And when I say make it his own, that means like bringing it together and shaping it. And I think that's what it is. It's when you have the ability to take information and apply it. Same thing with Prince. Prince was able to play every instrument, but why was that? He knew the fundamentals of music, how it worked. Like literally every instrument. Once you learn the theory of it all, once you got the mechanics of how to play an instrument, you can play it.
That's true.
And then his creativity, his genius was just, that's himself. So that's what I'm saying. Everybody has that of themselves, but there are still things that we all are able to do. We apply ourselves.
But see, creativity.
Yeah.
That's the key point of it. Creativity. It takes a certain, and I'm a big believer in everybody's creative. Everybody's creative. There's something creative about everybody. However, creativity it's so far in between. Like, it's not just about art. Like, you can be creative as architect. You can be a creative mathematician. You can be a creative English person.
I don't think some people are more creative than others. I just think that some are more in tune with their creativity.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the difference.
And it's also like knowing what you're good at. Like, I'm creative at this. Like, you're not always going to be creative at that certain thing. But go back to your point. They just knew what they were creative at.
They knew what they were creative at, and they just enhanced it. That's really what happens. You take something, you enhance it. And then you got Beyonce. She's had like Michael Jackson. She has something like Michael Jackson to look at. It's so much more people to look at, and now you have Beyonce. Now, when this generation is done, it's gonna be so much more to look at, and then it's gonna be somebody else. So I'm saying it just evolves. That's life. It's evolution.
Question, because I made this statement on my podcast as well. How do you feel about the older generations of artists, or just people who don't support the younger generation coming down, who kind of just like discredit them, or kind of just like that's not real music, or whatever they might say?
I think that's nothing new. That's everything. I feel like what happens is, if a king don't want to give up his crown.
That's true. But sometimes you have to, though.
You have to, but that don't mean you want to do it. So you're gonna do everything you can to keep it. And it's like the ones that talk about the generation now's music, they were great in their time.
Yeah.
But
in their time,
I still think that some of them are greater than some people today. But I feel like we're in a new age, and that means people ears aren't listening to what used to be put out. But then when you go back to their generation, the generation before them said the same thing about them. Yeah. Like when jazz came out, it was considered so like
they thought it was the devil's music.
They thought it was the devil's music.
Yeah.
And then when blues came out, it was the same thing. And as it evolved into rock and roll, when Elvis started, they thought he was crazy. The devil. And then it got higher. Then you got Prince going out ripping his shirt off with his butt cheeks out, and it was like, oh my goodness. And that's that generation. And they're saying like, oh my goodness, Prince had his butt cheeks out. And you mad that Sexy Red and Megan Thee Stallion twerking on stage and stuff? Like, yeah, it's bad, but like it's been being done, and it just progressively gets to somewhere else because of the generation before. So we're only a product of how we are because of what we had to look at, in a sense.
Pushing the limit.
Pushing the limit.
Pushing the limit as far as
everybody keeps pushing the limit.
So, do you think there is a limit? Do you think that there's a point where, like, all right, this shit has to stop?
I could say yes, but then like, who am I to say that? You know? Cause like me, like I don't want. I saw this video of these little girls singing. Man, what was that song?
Rich Baby Daddy. The Drake song. Been that? No. Yeah.
And I was like, if my daughter was singing that, oh my goodness.
What would you do?
I don't know. I wouldn't like, cause how am I gonna beat her? Like, it's like that's wrong, but that's what they have to consume.
That's all they got.
That's all they got.
You can't be mad at them.
So then, as parents, who can you be mad at? So like, think about it.
Can you be mad? Should you be mad at the artist?
I would.
Why? Exactly.
Yeah, that's a tricky conversation because then I'm about to contradict what I said about what the intention of putting music out is. Cause yeah, it's crazy. I feel like you should still have a level of cautiousness, if anything. Like yeah, but that's what makes art.
But is that true? Like you can't censor people. Like you can't censor people, especially creative people, because they're just gonna do what they want anyway. So if somebody was like, King Dullah, we love what you do, but like some of the stuff that you do, we just need you to tone it down. Like you know how people say like often say like Chris, like, oh, you have too much soul. Like, oh, we need you to tone.
Oh yeah, I hear that too.
Yeah,
I hear that all the time.
We need you to tone the soul down.
I heard that in my private lesson for Berkeley. You have a proficiency exam, and we had to do a contemporary song and a traditional song. And you know, I don't sing classical, so when they gave me the list, I saw Bomb and Gilead, and I was like, oh, I'm singing Bomb and Gilead. And I'm thinking, there is a bomb in Gilead.
Yeah, Clark Sisters.
It wasn't the Clark Sisters.
Oh.
It was some other translation. It went, there is a bomb in Gilead. And even that, like, me as a nigga, it was hard to sing like that. I was in there, there is a bomb in Gilead to make the wounded whole.
Yeah, Abdullah.
But that wasn't on the paper.
Abdullah, you're too soulful, Abdullah.
Exactly.
So
that's not what they told me. It's like, then it's how they say it. They say it without saying it.
Yeah, they're not gonna say it like that.
Are you telling me I got too much soul?
Yeah.
It's like the texture of your tone. Can you focus more on the vowels and not the consonants?
So to my point, right? Who is anybody to tell you that when that makes you as an artist?
Yeah, who are they?
Exactly. So you can't be like, oh man, Drake shouldn't have made Rich Baby Daddy. Who are we to tell him what he should and shouldn't make?
Yeah, because how you know the little girl was gonna listen to it?
That's what and that's not even his audience. His audience aren't 5-year-old little girls. His audience are grown, full adult people.
Well, if that's the case, if you as an artist are intentional about who your audience is, then I think you need to have a way of, in a sense, restricting it from others.
They do.
They don't.
That's not their job.
That's not their job. Okay, whoever's job it is.
It's the parents' job.
Damn.
Because the parental advisory sticker is on there. It's like the artist has done enough already. They already gave us parental advisory stickers.
That's true. You know, when Thriller came out, they thought that was so demonic.
That's what I'm saying. They already put the E on all the damn songs for explicit. What else do you want me to do? You want me to hand I can even go outside and hand you the record personally. But who you play it for and who you play it in front of, that has nothing. I can't control that.
That's true.
So what, like for example, who I play Trash or Pain Never Goes to, right? That has nothing to do with you, cause I'm playing the song.
Right.
So And whoever listens to that and whatever information they gain from that, if they like it or if they don't like it, that has nothing to do with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm lost. I got no words. You're right.
So
That's a good point.
So it's at a point of like, shit, what do we do?
What do we do?
How do we make this world a better place artistically? That's the question. How do we make this world a better place artistically?
Love.
Hold on. Hold that thought. I have to pee. Give us a quick commercial break here on the Arts Block Podcast.
I'm out dry.
All right. Welcome back, gang. We are back at it with the part 2 to the King Dullah Arts Block Podcast episode, since he wanted to talk some more. We're back from break. I have a question for you coming back.
Wait, where'd the camera go?
Oh, it's right here. No, we're just doing strictly audio.
Okay.
I didn't want to run out of storage. Yeah, I didn't want to run out of storage. It actually started recording for a long time though.
Oh shoot.
So, we were talking, and we weren't talking. I thought about this question. Well, no, you were talking earlier about how, like, sometimes you have to like sacrifice things, like sacrifice family time, sacrifice, time with friends, right?
Yeah.
Do you think, is there a limit to the sacrifices that you will make when it comes to getting, like, creating or like making art? Is there like a limit? Like, I was like, all right, this is something I will sacrifice for this.
Not if the art is your number one. Like for me, no, it isn't, because my number one my number 2 is art, and my number 1 is God, and then my number 3 is family. So that's the sad. If it's not God related, no, I don't think I would sacrifice anything.
I'm not mad at that.
Like it's terrible. Like I be thinking about it, and if I had the option to perform with my music and touch 1 million people, or go to my sister's birthday party, I'm performing for that 1 million people. I'm not going to it. I'm sorry to all my sisters, but I'm not doing it. And then you have that concept like, this could be the last day they're on Earth, and this could be that. But it's like,
this could be the last day you're on Earth too.
Not even that. It's more about what am I reaching? I reach more through that, and she could look at it and she'll be touched by it. Versus going to her birthday
and you just being
eating dinner, being fat. Like, what is that doing for me? Like, yeah, it's good quality time, but like, I know within myself I love my family, but like, my number 1 right now is God, and then my music.
So again, like, is there a point where it's like, in like just any career, right? Is there a point in your career where you have to start putting something first, like before the craft, or is it going to be forever? No, music's number 2. Is it forever that? Okay.
It is.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad
at
that.
Like I said, because God is first.
Yeah.
And as long as nothing is enabling me from serving that with my number 2, then I'm going to keep doing my number 2 until it reaches a moment where I have to do something that makes me question my belief in God or my faith, or something I don't think is right in God's eyes. Then there's nothing I wouldn't do. I'm
not mad at that take. That's a good take. I'm not mad at that. So, this can go 2 different ways. When you look, and is there anybody that inspires you of today's time? Is there anybody that inspires you today?
My grandma.
The one that lives on Stanley Street?
No, not that one. That's my great grandma.
Oh.
My grandma Janice.
Oh.
That's my mom's mom.
Oh, shout out Grandma Janice. That's not who I was talking about though. I mean, like, artistically.
Oh. I like Bruno Mars.
Okay.
And Kanye West.
Okay.
I think those are my 2.
Okay. What type of influence do you take from them?
Kanye, Truth. Bruno Mars is his ability to, like I said, incorporate past music and incorporate it into his own. You listen to like a lot of Silk Sonic stuff, It has a lot of like a Motown sound to it. But then again, it's Silk Sonic.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, this is Motown. And that. I think that's my biggest fear as an artist. I don't want to be put in a box. Like, oh, he sounds like this person. Like, I don't want that to be like what you know me for. It could be like he sounds like him, but I know that's King Dullah. That's what I want.
You know the artist October London, the dude that everybody's saying that he sounds like Marvin Gaye. He does sound like Marvin Gaye. He sounds like smack like Marvin Gaye.
I gotta listen to him.
But that's also like when you said that, I just thought of him like because and nobody says October London. October London makes amazing music. Like his own actual music is great. But he did like some Marvin Gaye covers. And when I tell you that's what like everybody's like, oh nah, that's like young Marvin Gaye. Like he sounds like Marvin Gaye, this, that, and the third. People even think that Marvin Gaye is like
Reincarnation?
No, like like
his child?
Yeah. Or like grandchild. Like
I thought Marvin Gaye was gay.
Was he? Nah.
That's just a rumor then.
Was he?
That's what I heard.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know him personally. Of course not, because he died.
Damn. You know his dad shot him?
Yeah. Did you know his dad was a pastor?
Damn.
Yo, I just found that out a week ago. His dad was a pastor.
Damn.
Ain't that crazy?
Marvin Gaye.
Nah,
He from the hometown. He from
DC. Homegrown. Shout out Marvin Gaye. One of the GOATs. But anyway, yeah, I thought about that. And do you necessarily think that that's a bad thing? People knowing you for a certain sound? Because I feel like if people know you for that, oh, this is the dude that sounds like such and such and such, then you can be like, that's great that you know me for such and such, but this is also...
If it lasts, because humans we always want to categorize something. So I understand when you first come out, like, you're going to be considered to sound like somebody. Like, the issue I had was last year, everyone kept telling me I sounded like Luther Vandross. And like I appreciated that, but then it got to the point where it was like, damn, I'm not Luther. Yeah. I can't sing like Luther.
But that's that's a compliment.
It is a compliment, but it's also like I don't want them to see me like that. I want them to see King Dullah. Yeah. So it's okay. I think it's okay in the beginning because, of course, we need somebody to compare something to. Like, when Mariah Carey came out, they kept comparing her to Whitney Houston. When Whitney Houston came out, they was comparing her to Aretha. It's like it's a constant competition. Society tries to put you in with somebody, but it gets to a point to where I do want to evolve as an artist to where it's like, oh, that's King Dullah. That's him. I know that's him. That's his sound, and that's what I'm working on, developing my own sound. And a lot of my music you might hear, I'm experimenting with different stuff because I don't think I've yet found my sound.
When do you think that will happen? If like that will happen? Well, I know it will happen, but when? Like, how long do you think it will take for that to happen?
I honestly don't know. It might never happen, but then in my mind, I just strive to be the best me I can be, if that makes sense. Like, even though I might not find my signature, and I might, I still want people to hear it, like, as long as they can hear me. Like, within myself, I know I'm never going to be like, oh, this is me. This is my sound, because I'm always evolving. I'm always changing. But it's still to a point to where, with me changing, I want them to still see the individuality in me.
Right. What's like new things that you try, like as an artist, to keep your creativity stimulated, like unmusic related? Like, what are new things that you like try? Like, I know like one thing for me that I swear by now, and that I'm currently doing is DJing. That's like the new thing for me. That's kind of like keeping my creativity stimulated.
Oh yeah, bro, you might be remixing some of my songs soon. Bro, I'm gonna need some remixes for some tracks.
I got you, bro. Listen, bro, I got you. Don't even trip, bro. I got you. Just let me know. But yeah, that's something I've been doing recently. So like, what's something that you do creatively that kind of keeps you stimulated? Because I know sometimes doing the same thing, like just doing music, can like not get tiring and not get boring, but it can just feel like, damn, that's it. If it does,
it doesn't for me. I don't.
But is that because you always do something new with your music?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's theater. I'm constantly. I feel like theater's taught me to constantly be able to adapt and change. And because I have that blueprint in theater, now that I'm in music, I never get bored because there's always a new discovery. And meaning new discovery, I mean like a new idea, something new to draw on.
Now that we've graduated, how was that? How was the Duke experience for you now that we graduated?
It was wonderful for me.
Yeah.
People talk about it all the time. Like the dance, they hated dance.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I was in a great department. Even people in our department, some of them talk bad about it.
Yeah.
But hey, I can't speak for them. I had a great experience.
Yeah.
Even the bad stuff that I thought was bad, coming out of it, I see that it helped me in the long run.
In what way though? Like,
little exercises like animal work. You know, recently in my songs, I asked myself, what animal is this within me? What animal am I? Because if we look at the whole world, the only thing that's functioned fine is, how I say it, civilization, like that aren't humans. Like, how is it that we humans, we keep messing up? We always reach a point to where we're set back.
Yeah.
If you go back into ancient myths and stuff, civilizations end and then it restarts. Then another civilization ends and it restarts. Like, that's the balance of life. But how is it that animals have been here and they've been able to function perfectly fine? Sharks have been here just as long. I think they were here when the dinosaurs were here. Sharks been here that long. And other reptiles and some mammals have been here a long time. So it makes me question. I ask myself, like, what animal am I? Because that gives me the idea to make something everlasting. It gives me the motivation and embodying those traits. And I didn't understand that until I got out. At first, I thought I was just crawling around on the floor being a monkey. When I wasn't a monkey, I was actually a wolf. And you know my teacher asked me if I was a monkey.
I was there.
We
were in the same
audience.
class. I was there.
You was in the circle and you laughed.
I did, because you did look like a monkey. I
was a wolf. I was literally howling.
But you looked like a monkey. Oh my God. I wish like I could insert the video into this. But you looked like a monkey.
Dang. Yeah. But yes, that's helped me. A lot of other things help me, like emotional, sense memory. It makes me a better writer. It makes me more metaphoric. Because that's nothing with music. Everything's so literal now.
Yeah.
Like, they talk about how they fucked your mama. Why you gotta say you fucked your mama? Why can't you put it in a metaphor and say, I fucked your most prized possession or something? That sounded very ignorant too. But why you even gotta say fuck? Why can't you say, I had what was yours? Or something like that. Like, it's too specific. And me, I make my music metaphoric because I feel like once it's metaphoric, it gives the audience more ability to interpret it how they want to interpret it. Meaning, it's not one way you can see it. If you say, I fucked your mama, when someone listens to it, they're only going to think about how you fucked their mama. Versus if I say, I took what was yours, someone would be like, damn, he took my money. Dang, they took my pride. Damn, he took my home. Dang, he took my family. It's so many things the mind can go to. And when I write my music, that's what I write with that in mind. I don't make it specific for a certain person. I make it real universal.
Okay. But do you think a lot of like communication can happen through that? Like, people can misconstrue what you're trying to say.
Yeah, they can, but the beauty of it is it's a metaphor. So you can ask me what I meant, but I don't gotta tell you what I meant. It's up to you to think what I meant. And because it's gonna be so many different narratives of what you thought I meant, no one's ever really gonna know what I meant.
That's true.
And I'd rather that than saying I fucked somebody's mama and they know I fucked their mama.
That was a very extreme. That's a very extreme example.
It is extreme, but I've heard it on the radio. I hear it in songs. Or I fucked your bitch. That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker.
West Side Bad Boy Killers.
Bro from Baltimore.
You're probably from the west side of Baltimore, Abdullah.
Bro, he was talking about the West Coast.
Bro, Baltimore is... Do you know how dangerous Baltimore has to be for you to go to Oakland for saviorship?
Yeah.
And to get out... This nigga went out the hood back... He just went to a better hood.
Yeah.
That's what he did. He just went to the better hood.
No, I was listening to it, and I was like... when he gets to that speech, I was like, damn. But like that's his own art. So I'm not judging it. I'm just saying like, damn.
No, shout out Pac. Like Pac is one
Now
of the
some
greatest
stories
of all time.
gotta be specific like that. And
Yeah.
like you said, that's the artist.
Because that can't be taken up for interpretation. Because he could have been talking about any fat motherfucker.
Yeah. Nah, but we know what fat motherfucker he was talking about.
We know which one. Shout out Big though. I got Big. Shout out Big. Big, one of my favorite rappers of all time.
Did he
Shout out
say something
Big.
about sickle cell? I wonder who had sickle cell.
He was talking about Prodigy. He was another rapper, Ahmad Deep. They was sounding bad boy
Oh
too.
man.
Don't y'all have sickle cell or something? Sorry to all the people with sickle cell. We're not laughing at you. We're laughing at what Tupac said about
Sickle cell.
yeah,
Damn.
not sickle cell specifically, but the man who had sickle cell. And R.I.P. Prodigy, he ended up dying.
He died.
I don't know if he
died
died
from sickle cell.
I don't know if he died from sickle cell, but he did pass
Damn,
away.
Tupac wished that he didn't. He say, "I hope you die" or something.
I don't know.
Sickle
He
cell.
probably
Damn.
did.
What if Tupac came back and got him? He died after Tupac, right?
I think we should end it. He did. He died like years after Tupac.
Shoot.
I think we should end this though.
Nah, Eric, it's so much more to talk about, man.
Like what?
How's
What else?
college been for you?
College has been. Let me cause this can't be.
This is a long end. How long has it been?
Like over an hour.
Oh, that's
like an
not
hour
bad.
30 minutes.
Ever since Cat Williams on the interview, I don't care as long as it's under 2. We okay. That interview was long.
That interview was.
I didn't.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Sure did.
I did too.
Like it was a movie.
That shit was a movie.
Oh,
He had
God.
a beginning, middle, and end to that
Oh,
movie.
God.
That shit
Nah.
was-
But what he did was unique because he took truth. Well, this is what every comedian does. He took the truth and he made it funny. So it makes you think about it. But then you're not mad at him
Yeah, cause you laughing.
because you laughing. And like,
Yeah.
how can I be mad if I'm laughing?
That's true. But college for me, it's been I think I talk about this on here pretty often. I think the beginning, the first couple of weeks, or like the first month and a half, I would say, was pretty difficult for me, just getting adjusted, just getting because I have a real problem with like trust and talking to people and like letting people like have access to me as a person.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
So So it was like for a long time I didn't allow people to know me. I was real standoffish. Was like, I'm going to class, going to the dorm, that's it. Like I'm not really wasn't really acceptive of the experience.
Yeah.
However, it was a point of time where like just something clicked for me, and it kind of happened like, yo, and that's why I started recording videos on TikTok. That's why I started recording videos, and that's why I started the podcast again, because it was a sense of I needed some kind of therapy or something to like people to talk to, something to like get out, right? However, now I like it. Like I can't wait to go back. I go back Wednesday. I'm ready to go back to New York. I'm tired of being in DC.
Yeah, me too. Like I missed home, but when I came back home, I realized why I wanted to leave.
It was about after 2 weeks I was ready to go back.
Man, mine was 1 week.
For real?
Yeah, it was just like the drama. Just like it's just drama.
Well, that was for you.
Oh yeah.
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 'Cause your family is yeah. Your family is different. I'm not about to sit up here and talk about your family though, 'cause I love it.
But it's drama.
Nah, yeah.
Getting away from it.
But go ahead.
It's just great. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then the handicap thing about it is, once you get away from it, you expect it, and that's bad within itself. And that's why I have to start telling myself.
What do you mean?
Like because I come from a family where it's always something going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's always some new drama to talk about. So and so did this. So and so got kicked out of this. So and so got driving under the influence. It's just like once you get out of that, you expect that from everybody. So when you meet new people, I was expecting the drama to come with it, and I was anticipating it. When a lot of people, they're just like normal people.
Yeah, your everyday citizen.
Your everyday citizen, stuff you see in the movies. And I'm like, I thought that was the movies. I thought my reality was Tyler Perry's movies, and I thought the real world was fake. But nah, the Tyler Perry movies is fake. Only we go through that. Only I go through that. And the real world is actually what we see sometimes on TV.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of, how do you feel about the whole Tyler Perry, T.D. Jakes situation? Just briefly touching on it. While we're here.
Oh man, I think God knows the truth. I could say what I believe, but I don't know the truth. We're all going off of what we hear people say. I do think they did those things. I do think so. I do. But who am I? I'm just your average American citizen making music, working at the Cheesecake Factory. So who am I to know? But I do know one thing. The further I get into this path, that's going to be in the back of my head. That I'm going to always remember that. And
I didn't even bring up them.
Well, how you going to bring up them and not bring up the...
Because I feel like that's a whole conversation.
Yeah, that is.
That's a whole nother conversation. Because he that's a wild man.
Yeah, he's wild. And what I hate about, like... I was saying earlier how us as black people have a psychological dependence on white people, and how that's going to change is when we start being able to do these things for ourselves, like have our own grocery stores, have our own entertainment things, have our own clothes and all that we can buy from. Because the dollar in the community doesn't even circulate as much. It leaves our community. I forget. I was looking at a video and it leaves our community quicker than any other race. But we hold most of the money, which is weird. So like if we found a way to do that, and what sucks is there are people in power that are of color that could help that happen, but it hasn't happened. And it makes me ask myself, like, why? Do they get greedy? Do they want it for themselves? Yeah. And they might, but then like once I get there, am I going to want to help everybody?
That's a good question.
Exactly, because we tell ourselves like, I want to help everybody out, but then we say that because we're not there. Yeah. So remember I said who I look up to the most? I said my grandmother. Yeah. It's because she taught me this one principle that you always hear me say: put everything in perspective. And like when I put it in perspective, I'm like, I think what they're doing is evil. And I disagree with it. But that's from my point of view. And something theater teaches us is to step into somebody else's shoes, even if you disagree with it, and just understand it. And we can try to understand it, but we're not in their shoes. And that kind of scares me, because I say that to say, if I'm ever in their shoes, how do I know I'm going to do the right thing? And that's something that keeps me up at night. Because it's scary, because we say what we want to do. We say how we want to make things better, but that's from the circumstances we're in now. How do we know when we get to better circumstances, that's going to still be the same vision?
Well, I think it's all about principles. Like, what are your core principles? What do you believe in? And I feel like not varying from those principles or those beliefs. Yeah. And knowing what your purpose is. I feel like those are all important things. Again, like goal setting. Like, if you are somebody of intention and you set these goals and you know what you're here to do and here to achieve on this earth, then the only thing you have to do at that point is just go out and achieve it. If you know. I feel like a lot of people get caught up because they take from what they know and start questioning it. Like, well, was this really what I was supposed to do? I know. I got my $10 million. Was I really supposed to go open up a shelter with this $10 million, or am I supposed to X, Y, and Z with the money? Right. So I feel like, whatever your principles are, whatever you feel in your heart of hearts to do, that's what should be done. Just on a human level. That's just not even on the art tip. That's just a human tip.
But then, like, principles, when you go to that, like, right and wrong, like, who judges that? When you think about it, like, we say certain things that we just know are wrong. But how do we know they're wrong? Because they still happen. And the people that do them don't think they're wrong in their minds.
But how do you know that? How do you know people that don't?
Because they say it. People that kill people, like, do it, and they think that it was right because of their motive and why they did it.
I wasn't really talking about murder. I was more so talking about, like, stealing.
Stealing? Yeah. Okay, we can say that. Stealing is wrong, but give me everything that's bad, and I could come up with a scenario why it's right. Well, except for some things that I just truly think are wrong. Like stealing. Okay, somebody could be poor. They need some food, so they go steal some food.
But that doesn't mean that they don't know that it's wrong. Like they can be fully aware that stealing is wrong. They can be fully okay. I know that stealing is wrong. I was taught that stealing is wrong, but I need to do this to take care of my family. So in that sense,
but then is it wrong if you're doing it to take care of your family? Is stealing wrong?
Does motive matter?
Yes, it does. I think it does. But again, like it's hard to say because if we looked at motive all the time, then a lot of laws we have wouldn't be laws, and we say it would be chaos. But would it?
Would it?
Would it be chaos?
That's a good question.
Literally.
Yeah.
Cause like if people did everything that we're living by the law of the land, and the law of I'm saying we live by the law of the land, like basically like humans say don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. But what's the law of creation? That's what I always ask myself. Like, what in creation is wrong to do? And how do I know that it's wrong? How do I know that it's right? Do you ever really know? Is it really right? Is it really wrong? Or is it just interpretation? Is it how you interpret it?
Well, I think it's certain, like, morals that have been, and principles that have been set at the beginning of time. It's just been, like, by God, nigga, it's in the Bible.
Okay, we can even go into that. The Bible doesn't have all the books. The Bible that we see today is what they want us to see.
That's true. You know King James took them shits out?
Yep, and you know what else is interesting? I'm not saying that he wrote it. We learned this in theater. Shakespeare and King James were alive at the same time period. Yeah. And a lot of the literature of the Bible is similar to how Shakespeare wrote. Mm-hmm. How does that work? So if this man is writing
the whole thou and thee and thys,
not even just that, his use of metaphors, you even get more intentional with it. His writing style. Yeah. If I'm not saying it was written by Shakespeare, but it's written by a man. How do we know that it's from God if they taking things out?
That's true. That's true. That's a good point. Damn, you been saying some smart shit today.
So then, like, what is really right and wrong?
Maybe that is up for interpretation. What is right or wrong, guys? We're asking you at this point. What is right or wrong? And not like the rules to like, oh, stealing is bad, murder is bad. Not those things, but like the literal definitions of what is right and what is wrong. Like, what would you define as right and wrong?
Literally.
Let us know. Is there anything else? No, there's not. Thank y'all so much for tuning into another episode of Our Spot Podcast. This is
wait. It's like no, it's like
okay. This has been the part 2 to the King Dullah episode. Yeah, I guess we have to run off the socials again. You can follow me on Instagram. Actually, no, before we get into that, if you're listening to this podcast anywhere, first and foremost, thank you for listening to the podcast, first and foremost. Secondly, make sure you give me a 5-star and a review, no matter what podcast platform that you're listening to this on. You can just say that the Arsenal Podcast is the greatest piece of work that you've ever witnessed to.
You gonna say this at the every end of the episode?
Yeah.
Dang, that's so long. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, finish.
You can just say that the Arsenal Podcast is the greatest piece of work that you've ever seen in your life, and that will suffice. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Eric Curry III. Make sure you follow me on TikTok at Eric Curry III. That's ERICCURRYIII. Make sure you follow the podcast on Instagram at Artsplug Podcast. Abdullah, let them know where they can find you at.
King Dullah Music, and make sure you pre-save Music Means to Me. If you like my music, pre-save it so you can listen to it. If you don't like my music, pre-save it so you can talk trash about it. That's also a song you could talk trash about.
Where's that? That's Instagram? That's your Instagram handle?
Yep.
Okay.
King Dullah Music.
Anything else you want to say, promote, do?
Just like... No, I actually don't have anything else to say.
All right.
I was gonna try to say some wise stuff, but then it wasn't really authentic. It was like me trying to think of something wise to say, but I really didn't have anything really to say. So that I said what I was.
All right, thank y'all so much. Remember that artists never die.
Yes, they. Okay.
Abdullah,
You get
please shut the hell up.
Hold on, let's talk about that principle.
No.
What do you mean by artists never die?
Because our work is what keeps us living.
Yeah.
Like Michael Jackson, like Mozart. Niggas still talk about fucking Mozart and Beethoven. Their work is what keeps them living.
That's true.
So
but that's why you got.
die.
That's why we say you got to be your true self.
And also,
because if they're not their true self and they're releasing art that's not them and that lives on, then who really lived on?
Then are they artists? Do they get the term to be called artists? Also, I've got this definition. Artists never die because the desire is what stays in you. The desire and the will to do it lives in you if you are an artist. And if you're not an artist, that's okay. Share this with your artist friends. But yes, remember that artists never die. I will see y'all when I see y'all, boys. And yeah.
Biden doesn't like black people.
Why the fuck did you... Bye, guys.